Mona, you're already late for the wedding. Did something happen? Reply to my text if you're alright.
Hi, Nicholas.
Oh, Mona, is everything alright? I was worried because you wouldn't answer my texts, even though today's our wedding.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's cancel today's wedding.
What?
Sorry, I'm not going to go to the wedding anymore.
Do you mean that you want to delay the wedding to a later date?
No, I meant that I don't want to have a wedding anymore, which means that I'm canceling our marriage.
What? Why are you telling me this on the day of the wedding?
It's not my fault. I met him on the day before my life was going to change, the night before our wedding.
Him? You mean that there's another guy?
Oh, I don't want you to misunderstand, but I only started having a relationship with him since last night. It's fine if you need to ask me to pay an alimony, but don't be so shallow as to ask for a huge amount of money just because you're mad.
No matter, just come to the wedding. We need to talk this through in person, not by text.
What? But I don't want to. That's what you're telling me, but in truth, you're planning on doing something crazy like holding me captive and making me sign the marriage papers, right?
I'm not gonna do anything of the sort. If all we were was boyfriend and girlfriend, then it might be enough to agree to break up. But as it stands, we're engaged to each other. Today was even supposed to be our wedding. It's not enough to just agree to break up.
You're just making a big deal out of this, Nicholas. You're at the wedding venue right now. All you have to do is tell everyone that the wedding is cancelled because we broke up. You're making everything so complicated.
I'm not overcomplicating things. You're just taking this too lightly. Besides, who did you cheat on me with anyways? Is it someone I know?
Oh, maybe you do know him.
Who is it?
Do you know Alfred Bird?
Alfred Bird?
Oh, so you do know him.
He's the CEO of the company I used to work at 5 years ago, before I changed jobs.
I see, so that's how you know him. But this just proves that he's much more high-spec than you are. Decided to break up with you and go out with him instead was a wonderful choice.
Is that so? Then fine. Let's break up.
Thanks.
But I understand that you want to break up with me, but you're gonna regret this, you know.
Why would I regret this? I mean, he's the CEO of a company and he's so much more high-spec than you are. What reason would I have to regret it?
Is that so? I'm going to be contacting you in one form or another at a later date to discuss the various procedures and monetary details we have to go through if we're going to cancel the wedding ceremony and the marriage.
What?
I think I'm going to be hiring a lawyer for this.
A lawyer?
I ask for your cooperation.
Hey, wait a minute.
Bye then, Mona.
Hey! Nicholas? Nicholas!
Will you stop that? What are you thinking, sending me like 200 texts?
You knew about this? Did you know that Alfred had a wife and children?
Of course I knew. By the way, the reason he's the CEO now is because he married the daughter of the previous CEO, who is now a member of the board of executives.
Ugh, does that mean that if he divorces his current wife and he's no longer going to be CEO?
Probably, yeah. I mean, if he was a good CEO, then he'd probably keep his job, even if he did get divorced, but I doubt the board is gonna let someone who just cheats on his wife remain in his position. I guess it's almost 100% chance that he loses his job.
No way! But then that means getting into a relationship with him was pointless.
And?
What?
What's your purpose in telling this to me?
What do you mean purpose? If you had told me earlier Alfred had a wife and children, this would have never happened.
What? You expected me to tell you after I just found out that you cheated on me with Alfred Bird. I had other things on my mind.
But
The person who cheats on their partner gets what they deserve. Even if you did never know he had a wife, it's still your responsibility. It's no use complaining to me about it. I'm currently busy talking to a lawyer about what to do about this situation.
Wait, Nicholas?
Bye. What is it now? Will you please stop doing that?
Help me!
Huh?
People are hating on me.
Oh, you mean on your Facebook, your friends are bashing you for what you did, right? Yesterday, even though it was the day of the wedding, you posted a bunch of pictures of you and Alfred on your Facebook page, right? You even said something like, I met the high-spec boyfriend of my dreams, so today's wedding's cancelled. This is the beginning of a new love story. And there's no way some random office worker can marry me, because now I'm a gorgeous, luxurious celebrity who's loved by a CEO.
You saw it? You don't do Facebook, right? My account is also locked, so only friends can see my page.
One of your friends sent me a picture with your posts.
Seriously?
Looks like you're getting quite the bashing. Cheater, asshole, slut, no shame, inhuman. Some of them even told you to give back their wedding gifts, right?
You even saw that?
Yeah, the pictures with Alfred you posted on your Facebook page and everything related to it is all likely to become proof that you cheated on me. I asked a friend for her cooperation to take a screenshot of everything.
Stop it! It's no use doing something like that to someone you're going to be reunited with, isn't it?
What?
You see, I texted Alfred earlier that I wanted to break up with him, and he agreed to my proposal. Now we can get back together as if nothing ever happened. Then I can post on my Facebook page that the wedding is cancelled anymore. But only delayed, right? Then everyone will probably forgive me.
There's no way your friends are gonna forgive you.
Huh?
I have no intention of getting back together with you. And the hate you brought on yourself is entirely your responsibility. You brought it on yourself. Don't involve me in this. We already broke up. Don't cause me any more problems.
But Nicholas... Nicholas!
These notifications are such a pain in the ass. What is it?
I'm being asked to pay an alimony to Alfred's wife.
What?
I didn't know he had a wife. It's not fair for her to ask me to pay an alimony.
Oh, I think that's the alimony you have to pay for defaming Alfred's wife.
What? What do you mean, defamation?
I heard that during yesterday's commotion on your Facebook page, you tried to calm everyone down by explaining your actions, but it ended up having the opposite effect and made everyone even more angry. I heard from one of your friends that you insulted Alfred's wife during this explanation of yours.
But only my friends can see my Facebook page. How did Alfred's wife find out about this?
What? You seriously don't know who Alfred's wife is yet?
What is it?
Alfred's wife is Carol, the person we used to go to university with. After she graduated university, she went on to work at her father's company. That's where she fell in love with Alfred. It's workplace romance, apparently.
Are you serious? What are the chances of something like this happening?
You've been connected on Facebook with Carol since university, right? No wonder she found out so soon. She must have been shocked when she checked her Facebook feed and saw a picture of you and her husband yesterday, which was supposed to be the day of your wedding. Wonder what she thought when she read what you had to say.
No way!
By the way, I'm not an expert in such matters, but don't people have to provide an explanation as why they're asking for an alimony when they ask someone for an alimony? Didn't you get some sort of explanation that came with the notice?
Well, I guess there was an explanation. There was a sort of letter that came with it, you see? There was a bunch of jibber-jabber written on it. But I didn't have Carol in mind at that time, so I just panicked and none of it really entered my head. So maybe everything was written on that letter. I don't get any of this.
Yeah, I don't get any of this either.
What do you mean by that?
I don't really see the point in you telling me all this. I'm begging you, stop contacting me and figure things out with the people involved, because I'm not one of them. You're being a pain in the ass.
Hey, Nicholas, what is the money you're making me pay? What do you mean $50,000? This amount of money just for the alimony of a marriage cancellation is too much no matter how you look at it.
So you're contacting me again without fully understanding the situation.
What?
That money isn't just the alimony for the marriage cancellation. It also includes the cancellation fee for the wedding ceremony and the cancellation fee for the honeymoon we had planned as well.
Huh? I'm paying for it even though it was cancelled?
Of course you are. Everything was already prepared at the wedding ceremony. You just suddenly canceled on the day of the wedding. That's why they're making you pay the full price, since it was only canceled because of you in the first place.
No way!
I'm going to tell you this, so you know, but this is something that your parents decided.
What?
I don't know how much they told you, but apparently they're going to make you pay for as much as possible, and your father is going to pay for the rest. The remaining amount, the one your father paid, will be your debt to him, and he said he's going to make you pay for all of it, no matter what.
What? Hold on, it's $50,000, right? I have to pay Carol money as well. That amount of money?
Talk to your parents about it, not me. I don't care where the money comes from as long as everything's paid for.
What do you mean you don't care? You're so mean. Try to put yourself in my shoes. Taking a debt is serious even if it's from your parents.
Didn't I already tell you this before? The person who cheats gets what they deserve, whether they asked for it or not.
But...
Well then, I think it's time for me to block you.
Huh?
I only didn't block you until now simply because I didn't want to lose contact with you before I could send my lawyer.
Nicholas?
That being said, please talk to my lawyer from now on. I'm blocking you now. Goodbye.
Nicholas!
Just like that, I was finally free from the storm of notifications Mona kept sending me. Thank God. I got the alimony I asked from Alfred as well, so I'm done with him as well. Right after the incident, Carol divorced Alfred and he lost his position as CEO as well. Apparently they allowed him to have a job as a regular employee at the customer support department, so that he can pay for his children's child support. As for Mona, I was worried she would try to barge into my house, but it seems her parents were keeping an eye on her, so nothing in particular has happened. They did this and that, and at the end of the day it was decided that she would work at a construction company based far away and live at a company-owned dormitory. Her parents told me that it's a place that has strict surveillance of its employees, so she's sure not to bother you again. Seems like I can finally go back to my old, peaceful life.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hannah, I just handed in the divorce papers.
Great.
I take it you know where we both stand on custody of the kids. The twins, Ben and Ivy. You get Ivy, and I get Ben.
To tell you the truth, I still don't agree with it.
What good is complaining after all this time? It's already decided, and there's no going back.
I know that, but I can't just look the other way when you call our daughter such horrible things. A brainless good-for-nothing? Really?
It's the truth. What do you want me to do, lie? I have to take Ben because my dad's company is in urgent need of a successor. But Ivy? Yeah, that's not happening. It'd be one thing if she was smart and gifted like Ben, but it seems like she didn't inherit my amazing elite genes like he did. Her grades are average at best. Her face is ordinary. She's not even good at sports. She has no redeeming qualities. She's literally the most average kid I'd ever met. Why would I want her? In any case, the only life that could possibly await a girl like that is marrying into the family of some run-of-the-mill office worker. There's no way she's got what it takes to inherit my dad's company. What benefit is there in having her around eating my food? As long as I get Ben, I'm happy.
Oh, good grief. It goes without saying that you better not ever say any of those things to her face. But don't go spewing your poison in front of Ben either. They're twins. They think a lot of each other. They're well past the age of not being able to understand things adults say, so you need to be careful. I'll be furious if I hear you've been filling Ben's head with horrible things about his sister.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's not like me and you are ever gonna meet again after this, is it?
I'm serious. Please, don't. Take good care of Ben, won't you?
Of course I will. I don't need you to tell me. He's gonna get an elite education and make tons of money, you'll see. Benny boy is going places.
It's not that I don't understand you wanting those things for him, but please make sure you let him do the stuff he wants to do sometimes too, okay?
Yeah, whatever. I guess this is it then.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey, Mom, is now a good time?
Hey, Ivy. Sure, what's up?
So I'm heading to the station near college right now. You'll never believe this, but my old dad is waiting by the ticket gate.
What? What do you mean?
My friend who went home before me sent me a message. Apparently he's going around the station asking every single young girl he sees, "Are you Ivy?" To anyone else, he probably just looks like a sex offender.
What the?
I carefully continued to the station to see whether it was actually him. And sure enough, of course he looks a little older than I remember him, but it's him.
What the heck is that man playing at?
Right? After all this time! He was dead set on only taking Ben back then, too. He had no interest in me whatsoever. I remembered like it was yesterday, how he smugly declared, "I'm fine as long as I have Ben," while reclining on the sofa and chuckling to himself like a jackass.
Oh, me too, sweetie.
Anyway, I need to come home, so I'm gonna enter the station through the ticket gate on the opposite side of the station, the one by the tracks. I'll probably be 1 or 2 trains later than usual.
Okay, got it. Make sure he doesn't see you. Be careful, Ivy.
Hello, Hannah. It's been a while. It's me, Gary. We need to talk.
We do?
Yes, we do. So it's like this, see? About a week ago.
You were lurking around the station like some creep trying to find Ivy?
Huh? You know?
I know. You were running around approaching every girl who looked like they might be under 25, asking if they were Ivy, weren't you? One of the girls you approached was Ivy's friend. Thankfully, she messaged her immediately with a warning to avoid the area.
Oh, I see. So does that mean she went home a different way so I wouldn't find her?
That's right.
How could she? I went out of my way to try to find her. We could have finally been reunited. I'm her father, damn it!
This makes no sense. Did you forget everything that happened back then?
Huh?
The reason we divorced in the first place is because Ben was the only child who existed in yours and your dad's eyes. On the rare occasion you actually acknowledged mine and Ivy's existences, you treated us like dirt. Your face practically lit up when I suggested divorce, and you had the papers signed and handed in before the day was up. You had no interest in having any part in Ivy's life, and you certainly weren't going to fight for custody of her. In spite of that, I suddenly hear you're running around the station, approaching every teenage girl you see like some kind of a sex pest in order to try and track down your estranged daughter? I'm struggling to understand here. Can you help me out a little?
What choice did I have? I don't know where you guys live anymore. All I had was some vague information on which college he's at, and so that was my only option.
That's not what I'm asking. Not that that's not a problem, too. But if you wanted to meet Ivy, you should have come to me first. I'm her mother and legal guardian. We intentionally kept hold of each other's numbers for this exact reason, did we not? Stop taking liberties.
Do you really want me to go into all the boring details? I don't have time for that. The point is, Ivy's doing really well now, isn't she? Looks like you did a half-decent job raising her after all. I heard she always gets the top grades in school, and was even president of the student council. Is it true? What's more, she even got into Apple College. Everyone knows how brutal their entrance exams are, so she must have something in between those ears of hers after all.
What's your point?
The point is that it turns out she did inherit my amazing elite genes after all, and this just proves it. That's my girl, which means I'll be taking custody of her. Thanks to your hard work, you did a great job, really. You can leave the rest to me.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Ivy must have gotten into college on a scholarship fund, right? And she has to be working crazy hours at some part-time job.
Scholarship fund? Part-time job?
You can't play dumb with me, Hannah, because I'm smart. Very, very smart. We agreed neither of us would pay child support at the time of the divorce since we were both taking a kid each. But unlike me, who was always working, and at a pretty good company at that, you were a stay-at-home housewife until the divorce. Even if you did manage to find a job after the split, your salary would have likely been average at best, realistically speaking. Now thinking about it logically, the only way Ivy could afford to go to Apple College despite being raised by a poverty-stricken single mother like you is through some kind of scholarship fund or job. Am I right? Or am I right?
What happened to all that stuff you said about Ben?
Huh?
You used to always say you'd be happy as long as you had Ben. What happened to that?
That kid. He was a complete disappointment.
What?
He betrayed my expectations in the most pathetic, cowardly way. He ran away as soon as he graduated high school, in the middle of the night, no less. Pfft, I have no idea where he is now.
Are you even gonna bother looking for him?
I was so disappointed I didn't feel like wasting my time trying. I decided to wait for him to come back and apologize before considering forgiveness. Not gonna lie, that hurt. I was pretty dejected. But right around the same time, I got word of what a high achiever Ivy was turning out to be. I thought it could only be fate, which is why I'm doing whatever I can to find her as quickly as I can. With me raising her, she won't have to waste her time working some crummy job or relying on scholarship money to study. I'm exactly what she needs right now. Oh yeah, my dad changed his mind. He's ready to let her be the successor to his company now.
Gary, do you even know which faculty at Apple College Ivy is studying at?
Huh?
The legal faculty.
What? Wasn't she majoring in economics?
She decided she wanted to be a lawyer and went to college to study law instead.
A lawyer? No, she will not be a lawyer. Starting next year, we'll transfer her to the Faculty of Economics. Contact the college and have them initiate the procedures now!
Why?
Because she has to inherit my dad's company. She can't do that if she's a frickin' lawyer. She has to learn economics. There's no other option.
Oh, so that's why.
Huh?
You were trying to force that on Ben, too, weren't you?
Forcing? A father's authority is final! He has no right to disobey my command, and learning economics is an essential requirement of inheriting my dad's company. You should be careful how you speak to me.
Do you have any interest in what Ben himself wants to do with his life? Do you even know what that is?
Huh?
Your son wants to be a chef.
A chef?
You do know how much he loves cooking, don't you?
Oh yeah, I remember catching him wearing that stupid hat a while back. That stuff's for pansies. I told him how shameful his stupid effeminate behavior was and banned him from embarrassing me by ever doing it again.
I know. That's why he ran away in the night.
Huh?
Ever since he graduated high school, he's been working part-time to save up money to go to a specialist culinary arts college. He's set to start studying there next April.
He is? Hey, wait a second. How do you know all this? You weren't supposed to meet him after the divorce. We agreed!
I know. We didn't meet. At least not while you had legal custody of him.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
Don't tell me you forgot. Ben and Ivy both turned 20 the year before last.
Huh? So what?
They're fully fledged adults now, so the custody terms we agreed on during the divorce no longer apply. Ben doesn't need your permission to come and see me anymore.
Oh, he doesn't, huh?
Which is why he came to see me, just yesterday, in fact.
Wait a sec! How did he know where you live?
He and Ivy have had the same friends since back in elementary school, so he's always known my address.
How dare you! You've all been conspiring behind my back this whole time!
Ben told me all sorts of things. For example, how you temporarily became president of your dad's company. But were too much of an incompetent moron to run it properly, and your aged dad was forced to take the reins again before he ended up in the red or going bankrupt. By some miracle, you're still hanging on to the managerial position by a thread, but your dad swore you'd never be president again. Then, to make matters worse, Ben, who'd he'd been grooming to be his successor, decided he wanted to be a chef instead and pulled a disappearing act. The only reason you're trying to track down Ivy now is because you're out of candidates to inherit the company, isn't it?
If you're such an expert on the situation, why don't you just hand her over already? You know damn well it's in Ivy's best interest to be a household with money so she can focus on her studies. You're just being stubborn and selfish.
There's just one problem. Ivy never wants to see you again.
What?
I did just tell you, but she went out of her way to avoid you as soon as she heard you were out looking for her at the station. You can think of that as her response to your proposal.
Do you understand what a generous offer this is? I'm offering to cover all of her expenses until she graduates college. Not only that, but there's a CEO position waiting for her when she does. With me, she walks the path of the elite. With you, it's nothing but poverty, poverty, poverty! The opportunity to live a life free from financial worry is staring her right in the face! She'll never struggle for money again!
Gary, Ivy isn't studying on a scholarship.
Huh?
She doesn't have any money worries at all.
Don't make me laugh. There's no way a peasant like you could afford to cover her tuition fees at Apple College. What did you do? Rob a bank? You're obviously just making up desperate lies because you're scared of losing her when she realizes how much better her life will be with me. I've got it. Fine. I don't mind if we get back together.
Excuse me?
If we do that, you can guarantee Ivy a better life without having to say goodbye. Win-win!
No, really. We're doing fine for money.
You're clearly putting up a bold front. Tragic. I know that deep down you're chomping at the bit to go ahead with what I'm proposing. You're just too proud to admit it. One thing though, when I say me and you can get back together, you should know what I mean is, I'll let you be my personal maidservant. Ever since my mom died, we've been forced to hire a maid, which means the finances have taken quite a hit. We could do with some free labor. This is actually perfect timing!
I married a lawyer.
What?
We were introduced through a friend when Ivy was in her second year of high school. Ivy calls him Dad now.
She does what now? How dare she, that traitor!
It's thanks to his influence that she decided she wants to be a lawyer.
Even so, I'm her dad and always will be!
Actually, the adoption procedures were recently finalized, so legally speaking, he's her dad now.
What? You let him do that?
As you probably know, a lawyer's salary isn't half bad, and he's been kind enough to cover half of her college expenses, so you really don't need to worry about us struggling.
Half?
He did offer to pay the full amount, but I worked so hard to save up money to send her to college before we got married. Plus, Ivy herself has been working long hours too. So to make sure we'd never forget what we went through, we have a constant reminder of the importance of hard work. We paid the other half ourselves.
I don't understand. Why wouldn't you accept?
It makes no difference whether you understand or not, so that's fine. Oh yeah, that reminds me. We're currently in talks to start the adoption process for Ben, too. I'll be sure to keep you posted.
What? What about me? Who's gonna inherit my dad's company?
Why does it have to be a family member? Why can't you pick a successor based on their abilities and talents? Sounds like you could use some fresh blood. Nah, that's not really for me to comment on.
Aha! I've got it! I'll let you have Ben. If you give me Ivy, can we do a trade?
You still don't get it, do you? Ugh, this is a waste of time.
Huh?
Ben and Ivy are both adults now, and they're free to make their own choices. I think it's time we block you.
No, wait! Please! Just wait!
Goodbye. I heard through a friend a few days later. Apparently, Gary's dad told him that if he didn't come home with either Ben or Ivy to inherit the company, he'd lose his managerial position and be demoted to a regular employee. After I blocked him, he went on the offensive with Ivy. Once again, he was sighted approaching young girls at the station, but this time around, he was swiftly reported to the police and arrested. My husband, the lawyer, decided it was time to take action. He had a restraining order put out against Gary, banning him from ever coming near any of us again. A year later, Gary's dad's company went bankrupt. Apparently, word of one of the managers being arrested for harassing young women in public played a part in the stock price hitting an all-time low and the company's subsequent collapse. Both Gary and his dad worked like dogs to pay off the debt they took on in a desperate last-ditch attempt to save the sinking ship. They did manage to keep up with the repayments somehow or another, but due to the fact that neither of them knew how to do housework, their apartment turned into something resembling a bomb site stinking of rotten meat within a month of them moving in. Naturally, reports from the neighbors came in one after the other. Now, no one has any idea where they disappeared to after being handed the eviction notice.
Hey,
Why are you messaging me when we're sat next to each other?
I'd feel edgy talking about this even if we lowered our voices.
This?
The inheritance.
You want to talk about that now?
Even if you subtract the taxes, it's $800,000. $800K! I'm so astonished I'm finding it hard to relax.
You have a point.
It came from selling off some land they originally bought for dirt cheap, which exploded in value with the development of a nearby resort. Is what they said, right?
Yeah. Apparently they left almost all the money behind untouched.
It's such a crazy amount. My head feels funny. I know it's a little disrespectful to be discussing this so soon after your dad passed away. But no matter what I do, I can't relax.
Yeah, I'm pretty restless myself as the one who inherited it.
I want to settle down before we arrive home, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But since we are where we are, I thought it'd be better to message you.
Fair enough. Go on.
I'll just come straight out with it. Have you thought about how you're going to use the $800,000?
No, not yet. But I did inherit as part of my dad's will. So I want to avoid spending it lightly.
Yeah, I get that.
At any rate, I think it's best we keep it quiet for now. If we start spending it unwisely and people catch on, it could cause us problems with the figure being as high as it is.
Even from me and Trent?
Yeah, I think so. For now, at least. Mia's in the middle of her high school exams right now, and next year, it'll be Trent's turn. I think we should avoid anything that might shock them. When we do eventually tell them, let's make sure the time is right.
Dad, I know you're in the middle of work, but can you reply?
Huh? Mia?
Is now a good time?
Yeah, I'm on a direct train home from work, so it's fine. What is it?
I'm on the way home from school.
Huh? Shouldn't you be at your after-school club now?
The teacher's advisor had some stuff going on, so today got canceled. But when I decided to stop by the bookstore on one of my changeovers on the way home,
What's up?
I saw Mom flirting with some guy on the open terrace of some cafe.
What?
I only managed to get the guy from behind, but do you want to see a picture?
Show me, please. This is...
It's hard to tell from the picture, but they had their fingers intertwined and were gazing to each other's eyes while deep in conversation. They kissed too.
I see.
My friend sneaked over and eavesdropped to try and figure out what they were talking about. Something about an inheritance?
The inheritance.
By any chance, is this about Grandpa's inheritance?
Probably. I'm gonna tell you everything soon.
Okay, I understand.
Tell the truth, I did think your mom had been behaving a little strange lately.
To be honest, me too.
Really?
Trent noticed it as well.
What are you playing at, Becky? To think you put your children through this.
I think Mom's gross.
Mia, Well, I get it. I guess that's the last thing a kid wants to see their mom doing. I'm sorry you had to see this side of your parents.
Stop it, Dad. You haven't done anything wrong.
Anyway, thanks for letting me know.
What will you do?
I'm still confused, and it's hard to think straight right now. But I'm pretty sure I need to gather more evidence.
Right.
Don't mention this to anyone for now, okay?
Got it. Dad,
Hmm?
I'm on your side.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Hey, sorry my message is late. I'm gonna stay over at my friend's place again tonight.
Your friend?
The girl I always stay with.
The one you made friends with 6 months back over your shared hobbies?
Yeah, that's her. She was talking to me about some things that were bothering her, but I don't think I'll make the last train now. I'm really sorry this happens so often. Me and doing the housework is such a big help.
Nope, this isn't gonna work with me anymore.
Huh?
You're cheating on me, aren't you?
Wait, what?
You're so careless that not just me, but even the kids noticed. I'm just wondering what the hell you think you're playing at. The private investigator said from the beginning you didn't seem concerned about hiding it.
Wow, you hired a private investigator. Fine, I'm having an affair.
You admitted that awfully easily. Should I interpret this as you being prepared for the divorce?
Well, I guess I did. If we've been found out, then I've got no choice. I'd rather just admit it and get it over with quickly than have it get messy and drag on. Besides, getting divorced involves nothing but positives for me.
You've changed.
Huh?
Actually, I have a feeling there's no merit in this affair for you.
Let's just get it out of the way instead of having it turn chaotic. By the way, the divorce papers are in the drawer of my dresser. I'll come and get my stuff when you're not at the house. So I'll leave when you hand them and up to you. It'd be best if you could get it done this week, though.
I know what you want. You gonna go stay with your lover now?
Yeah, I am. You probably know who he is if you hired a private investigator, right?
Of course.
Well then, I won't go into minute detail, but that is where I'm going. When the compensation and other financial stuff's all been dealt with, give him a call, okay?
Okay.
Bye! Ugh, pick up!
What?
What the hell are you doing? Why do I have to pay compensation? And not just me, but my boyfriend too.
Ah, I see the paperwork arrived.
Ugh, not I see the paperwork arrived. The stuff that's written here. Me and my boyfriend have to pay you compensation? You're not splitting any of your assets? And you won't be paying child support for Mia and Trent? What the hell are you doing?
Is there a problem?
Obviously. First of all, the compensation is paid by the party responsible for the divorce.
You're the one responsible for the divorce.
No, I'm not. What are you saying? It's your fault for not being able to stop my heart from wandering.
Huh?
And the assets. Any assets obtained while married should be split 50-50 in a divorce. To think you try to keep everything to yourself. Aren't you ashamed to call yourself a man?
Even if I wanted to split my assets with you, you spent nearly all the money from our shared savings. There was barely $230 left in the account. Taking the compensation and child support into consideration, there was no way you were going to get any assets.
Huh? $230? Don't talk nonsense. You haven't actually forgotten, have you?
Forgotten what?
The $800,000 you inherited. You inherited it while we were married, so it's subject to asset distribution. Basically, it gets split in half, and $400,000 of it is mine.
By any chance, were you being that brazen with your lover on purpose so you could get your hands on the $400,000 when my assets were split?
Bingo. Divorce can't be initiated by the one having the affair, so I waited for you to do it for me. Now me and him will finally get a fresh start and be happy together.
Just hold on a minute. Are you completely unaware that everything you just said is tragically diluted nonsense?
What? Nonsense.
Compensation for infidelity is paid by the party responsible for the affair to the partner they were unfaithful towards. That's why you and your lover will be the one paying me compensation.
Huh?
Also, and this was something my lawyer told me, but he said that property inherited by a spouse during a marriage isn't subject to asset division in the event of divorce.
No way!
My lawyer's number's in those documents. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him in detail yourself.
Well, what about child support? Surely you'll be paying me child support payments.
I would if you were getting custody of Mia and Trent.
Well, you will then, won't you?
No, I won't.
I'm terribly sorry, but custody of children is always awarded to the mother.
I know that.
Right? Well then, to cover both of them, I want $1,500 per month in child support.
You haven't forgotten how old your kids are, have you?
What does that have to do with anything?
Mia's 16, Trent's 15. They're old enough to decide for themselves who they want to stay with.
Huh? That's a thing?
And FYI, they both said they want to stay with me.
Like hell they did. Children, you know, need their mothers more than their fathers. Not knowing that alone disqualifies you from being a dad. I'll be taking custody of them.
I told you, it's not happening.
Why?
Mia's the one who found out about the affair.
What?
As for Trent, he might not have seen anything directly, but he knew something was off for a long time. Do you really think they'd want to stay with the person responsible for hurting them with their infidelity?
How am I supposed to know that if they don't tell me?
Oh, and they've both blocked all communications from you.
What?
They said they don't want to see your face, and they don't want to talk to you.
No, wait, this can't be.
I think that should tell you how they feel about you.
No way, does this mean I won't get any money at all?
Obviously. In fact, you'll be the one paying.
No, wait!
All of the details are in the documents I sent you, so make sure you read them thoroughly.
Wait!
You can contact me through my lawyer from now on.
No!
Well then, I'll be blocking you now. My wife's affair was with her then married ex-boyfriend who was in a relationship of 3 years. My wife and her ex were under the false impression that inherited property would be subject to asset distribution. So they shamelessly paraded their affair out in the open. But their plan was so sloppy and ignorant that I was left completely dumbfounded. Our kids were equally as astonished. After dragging their parents into the mess they'd created, they somehow managed to string together the compensation they owed, and I got all of it in a single payment. Her lover also got a divorce, and of course, they had to pay his wife's compensation too. It's said that money drives people crazy. There's something ironic about the two of them ending up in debt hell totaling over $150,000 because they were so obsessed with it. Now they spend their days working crazy hours living in a rundown apartment while constantly trying to shift the blame onto each other. This is all your fault!
Hey, Kathy, you got time to talk? I just checked the warehouse area of the company. I noticed that your car was parked there, but a whole bunch of other cars. What's this all about?
Oh, good morning, Laura. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you about that. I will be borrowing that open space behind the warehouse for 10 days. Just so you know, we're friends from our kids' school, so I figured it was okay. You don't mind, do you? Just 30 cars for 10 days. It's not like you're using the space anyways.
Excuse me? I really don't know what you're talking about. I talked to the office manager who oversees the property. You told him I gave you permission? You got him to open the gate and just drove those cars in. Are you out of your mind? I never gave you permission to do that.
I was planning on getting your permission later on. Anyways, you're the president's wife. I don't see a problem. We are friends after all. Just let me use it for free. just for 10 days. It's just an empty lot. It's not being used at all. So, what's the problem?
Just because our kids go to the same school doesn't mean you can just bring your cars here and park without permission. And this is a weekday? And you bring 30 cars in here? What's this about anyway?
Well, okay. You know my son. Well, his team won the basketball championship last week. Well, in order to celebrate this victory, we decided on a 10-day trip for all the kids and parents. Since it's almost winter break, it was perfect timing. We plan to take in various basketball games and do a little sightseeing. It will be a blast for sure. The kids deserve it.
What's that got to do with me?
We chartered several buses for the trip, which leaves from City Hall. But during the week, the place is really crowded. The parking area around that place on a work week is just awful and expensive. I have to find a spot for everyone. Like I said, this is a 10-day trip, and everyone has a lot of luggage. You know, the parking fee is highway robbery in my opinion. Then it hit me. I remembered that your company was nearby, and you guys had that open space by the warehouse.
I'm sorry? Are you really being serious? I can't understand your reasoning.
The place is walking distance from City Hall, and besides, you're not using the area anyway. So I figured, our kids go to the same school, and we know each other fairly well. So I was sure you would help us out.
You're way out of line. You can't just leave 30 cars here without even asking me first. And for your information, that area is currently being used. The cargo trucks come in regularly. We need that area to park the trucks and store the cargo. Those trucks are going to be coming and going all week. It'll be full by the end of the day. I can't allow you to park there. It'll disrupt our business.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you just close up shop while we're gone? Problem solved. Your place isn't some big corporation. Closing for 10 days or so wouldn't make much difference. And what if it goes bankrupt? Nobody would care.
Huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I really should have said that. But it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever. Just get those cars off our property right away. This cannot stand. It's business obstruction.
It's too late for that. We're already in the bus and on our way. I'm sorry, but we can't return now. Please just give it up. I mean, it's just for 10 days, for God's sake. We'll be out of your hair in 10 days.
Have you totally lost it? We're not in this business for fun. This is a legitimate business.
Come on, loosen up. It's just 10 days. We'll be back before you know it. Have a little patience. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Your husband's company has connections with the company my husband works at, right? If you even think about getting those cars towed, well, I'll have my husband terminate all accounts with your company.
Huh? Are you threatening me?
Take it however you like. Okay, so make sure those cars aren't moved. See you in 10 days. Hey Laura, we're back. Wow, what a great trip.
Oh, hello, Kathy. I was counting the days for your return.
Thank you so much for taking care of the cars for such a long time. Really appreciate it. Are you at home now? Nobody seems to be at the office, and the gates are closed. Could you open the gates ASAP? I'll have everyone get the cars out, and we'll be out of your way. Can't be obstructing business any further.
If you want the cars released, you're going to have to pay $40,000.
Huh? $40,000? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the cost for leasing out the space next to our warehouse. Due to the disruption of our business, this unauthorized parking of 30 vehicles in our warehouse area, you are insured for such damages, I hope.
What? You're not serious. Do you expect me to pay? But you allowed us to use that space for free.
I never said I would let you use it free of charge. You and your friends just drove right in and parked. You never even asked for permission. I never once gave you permission. I will have you pay for the damages to our business.
It's just parking. So what's this $40,000? It would have been cheaper to park at City Hall. 10 or 20 bucks a day tops.
Okay, I'll give you a brief summary of what this amount entails. When the delivery trucks came in, we had no place to store the goods, so we had no choice but to use the employee parking area. The employees were forced to park their cars at a nearby parking facility. That cost was $40 a day times 25 cars times 10 days. That's $10,000 right there. In addition, we were forced to lease the space for all the cargo we couldn't fit in the warehouse area. We had to lease a storage area across town, only place we could find at the last minute. So the cost of that storage area, the moving cost and labor cost for moving the stuff, we also had to lease the trucks and the forklifts. But still, we weren't able to fit all of it into the storage area, so there's damages for that. Oh yeah, and the parking cost to our clients. Did I mention the security we had to hire to watch over the stuff in the storage area? The total adds up to $40,000. Because you went ahead and used that area without permission, it put our entire business schedule into turmoil. We ended up having to cover various costs that we would not have encountered if that area was open. That's what it's used for. I expect this amount to be paid ASAP, or the cars stay put.
Huh? How am I going to pay $40,000? I told the other mothers that you would allow us to use that space for free. I can't very well ask them to pay now.
Oh, really? You know what? I contacted the club your son belongs to. They tell me you charged each member $50 per car for permission to park on our property. Is that right?
Oh, well, I was just,
So that's $50 a head, $1,500. Nice. Does that mean you charged them $50 to park here? But then insisted that you park for free? Nice pocket change.
Huh? No, you got it all wrong. I would never say such a thing. I was going to give all that to you once we got back from the trip.
Then why did you insist I let you use that area for free? I have that line conversation saved. I could send it to you if you'd like.
I was just joking around. Can you even take a joke? Do you really think I would con the other mothers for $1,500? It was all one big joke, that's all.
Oh, really? It was all one big joke, huh?
Of course. Come on, Laura. Do you really think I was serious?
Do you really think you'll be forgiven if you say it's all a joke?
Huh?
If you consider this all a big joke, you're more devious than I realized. With your stupid little joke, you caused this company $40,000 in damages, and I expect you to pay it in full. And that $40,000 is only an estimate and doesn't even come close to how much business we lost in the last 10 days.
It's actually more than $40,000?
Of course. Our business was disrupted for 10 full days. Do you know what that means? Our employees ended up doing overtime because of the schedule change. We spent hours locating a suitable storage site. If you put into consideration the overtime and labor costs, it would be more like $60,000. If we continue like this for any longer, we would have gone bankrupt. So, I'll ask you again. Did you seriously do this as a joke? You were planning on bankrupting our company as a joke. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. I didn't mean it like that. That was never my intention.
If you, Cassie, have no intention of paying, I will draw up an invoice to your husband's company. Is that okay with you? You did say if I didn't allow you to use the space, you would get your husband to terminate our account. Do you remember that? Because you said that, I have no choice but to conclude that your husband's company is a party to all of this.
No, please. I didn't mean that. My husband's company had nothing to do with this. Please leave him out of it.
But you threatened me. You said you would get your husband to terminate our account with them, and now you say he has nothing to do with this? Now, I could laugh at that joke.
Really, it's no joke. This is not a joke. I'm sorry. Please, calm down. I'll pay. Okay, I'll pay. I will do something about it. I'll pay. So, could you please open the gates and get the cars out? The other mothers and their kids want to get home, so please.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. Like I said, if you want the cars released, you must first pay up. I don't trust you, to be honest. You may just up and run.
How could you do that? It's like you don't trust me at all. Besides, our kids go to the same school. I consider you a friend.
Do you really think I trust you after what you pulled? I feel sorry for the other mothers, but I can't open those gates until you pay for damages.
Please, you can't do this. What am I going to do? What do I tell the other mothers? Everyone has a load of luggage. What do I tell them? Please, open the gates. Please.
When I was frantically asking you to stop, you completely ignored me. Don't you think you're being a little selfish? You almost ruined our company.
I'm sorry. I was in the wrong. Please forgive me. I promise I will pay for the damages. Just let me get the cars out.
I'm sorry, no can do. Call a cab for the others, they'll be okay. I have an early morning tomorrow, so I better get going. Goodbye.
Please wait. Don't leave me hanging. Please.
Sorry. Good night. The next morning, Kathy and her husband arrived at our office. They both profusely apologized for the harm they caused and for using the space without permission. The mothers were furious at Kathy for lying to them and was forced to pay the taxi fees for everyone. As for the $40,000 that I was demanding, the amount was way over what she could pay on the spot, so Kathy apparently confessed everything to her husband and asked him to pay the damages. Her husband made her promise she would never do something like this again and agreed to pay the damages and, in addition, compensation on her behalf. I brought along our company lawyer who drew up all the necessary papers. With the legal papers in hand, they were allowed to finally remove the cars from our property and back to their owners. As of Kathy, we didn't want to traumatize her kid with this unfortunate incident, so all involved decided to keep the whole affair confidential. We agreed to explain to the other mothers that it was all a misunderstanding, that I had mistaken the day when the cars would be parked. After a while, our business finally got back on track. What a relief. For a while there, I thought we would go bankrupt. As appreciation for all the hard work my employees put in during this time of crisis, I included a hefty year-end bonus to all employees. Oh, and I increased the security around our warehouse and adjoining spaces so such incidents never occur again.
Carl, you really surprised me just now. I never imagined in a million years you'd announce the marriage like that.
Sorry to get you all together at such a busy period in the morning, Miss Martin, but today was the only day I was able to make the announcement at work. Apologies to trouble you over my personal affairs, but I wanted everybody to know.
Oh, don't be silly, Carl. You don't have to be so formal and stiff around me. Just call me Betty, like always.
Huh? But I always call you Miss Martin. I guess I don't mind calling you Betty, though. One other thing. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't message me so much while we're at work. It's kind of a distraction from my job.
I don't see the problem. That's just how we are together, right? Anyway, it's almost your break time. Don't be such a spoiled sport.
I still have another 30 minutes left until my break.
Wow, Carl. I was really shocked when you made the announcement in front of everyone like that. I must admit, though, I did feel a teeny weeny bit embarrassed.
Well, I was announcing my wedding. It'd be weird if I didn't do it in front of everyone. I'm gonna be real busy with preparations for the ceremony from now on, so I had to get it done this morning.
Wow. You're already making preparations for the wedding? I love how proactive you are. But really, to think you'd get started on the preparations without telling me.
We haven't decided on a day, so I haven't told work about that yet. We plan on going on honeymoon too. So I'll most likely be taking a fair bit of time off after the wedding. I'm really sorry if you guys feel an increase in the workload while I'm not around.
Wow, a honeymoon too? Baby, I had no idea you thought so much of me. I feel like a special lady right now. I accept. The answer is yes. Thank you for proposing to me. I will hereby be known as Betty Butler. Let's be happy together, baby.
What the... Wait, what? What are you talking about?
From here on out, I'm no longer Betty Martin. Starting from today, my name is Betty Butler. Your darling. I don't mind if it's only in private, but please call me Betty from now on, okay?
Huh? What is this? What do you mean?
Your wedding announcement was a way of proposing to me in secret, right? Things could get awkward at work for us at work if we came out. The questions would be never-ending. I think you made the right decision. It's much better this way, at least for now. You really are so thoughtful. I love that about you. But really, darling, even if you just told everyone the truth, my feelings for you wouldn't change. My heart is yours forever and always. To tell you the truth, I would have preferred a more romantic proposal. A special moment beneath the stars in a garden of some French restaurant with a relaxed, laid-back atmosphere and a breathtaking nighttime landscape view of the city. But wow, to propose to me at work in front of everyone like that was so bold. You have testicles like bowling balls, Carl. I think I'm even hotter for you now.
What? Sorry, Betty, but I really don't know what you mean by any of this. Please, could you explain? You think I proposed to you? What makes you say that?
Don't talk silly. I'm your fiance, right?
Huh? You are?
You did say me and my longtime girlfriends are finally gonna tie the knot, didn't you? That girlfriend is me, right? We've been dating for a whole 3 years now. The best 3 years of my life!
No! What are you saying? You can't be serious! You've got it all wrong! I don't know why you think that, but you're wrong! My fiance is someone else! You and I aren't getting married? What kind of mental gymnastics have you been pulling to convince yourself of this? Did you think we were dating this whole time?
Oh, darling, you don't need to be shy or embarrassed around me. I remember the day you got transferred to my department 3 years ago like it was yesterday. I remember how you confessed your love to me with your intense, loving gaze. I won't let you say you forgot, baby.
What? I seriously don't understand what you're talking about! I don't remember looking at you like that! Besides, what does confessing my love to you with my gaze mean? Is that even possible?
You're so cute when you get all flustered. Don't be shy, darling. I already know how you feel. Let's start making preparations for the wedding this weekend. Just the two of us, okay? Oh, that reminds me. I have to hand in my resignation. I'll get it done before the end of today, so just hold on, baby. I'm gonna be your stay-at-home housewife. I'll see you on dinner break, baby. Speak later.
Wait! Betty! Excuse me. Does this number belong to a Mr. Carl Butler? Yeah, that's me. Who's this? My name's Albert Martin. I'm Betty Martin's husband. What? Betty's husband? She's married? That's right, she is. There are a couple of things I'd like to ask you, Carl. I got your phone number from a business card of yours I found under my wife's pillow. Allow me to get straight to the point. Are you my wife's lover? What? Her lover? The thing is, Betty handed me some divorce papers as I was eating my roast potatoes this evening. I practically spat my coffee out all over the table. She told me a certain Carl Butler had proposed to her at work, and that she intends to marry him. She made it very clear that the reason she was divorcing me was so she could be with you. Wrong! I'm just her co-worker! All that stuff you just mentioned about me proposing to her is wrong! She's making a huge misunderstanding! A misunderstanding? What do you mean by that? It's true, I did announce my engagement at work today, but I obviously wasn't proposing to your wife. My fiancé is someone else. Somehow, Betty managed to convince herself my engagement announcement was in fact a way of secretly proposing to her, and she started sending me all these weird messages. She won't leave me alone. I'm starting to wonder if this is what it feels like to have a stalker. She won't leave you alone? All day at work, she kept sending me messages asking about what kind of wedding we're gonna have, who we'll invite, where we're going on honeymoon, plus plenty of other crazy stuff. On our dinner break, she threw the lunchbox my fiancé made me all over the floor and forced me to share hers with her. She's been going around telling people at work she and I are engaged, and somehow even has the phone numbers of my out-of-work friends, who she keeps calling to announce the news. I tried to slip out of the office quickly without her noticing, but she was waiting behind a car outside and followed me all the way home. I know! I'll send you screenshots of our chat logs. I feel awful about being accused of cheating. I want you to know it isn't true. No, it's okay. I merely wanted to hear your side of the story. I'm not accusing you of anything. I had some suspicions this might have been the case. To tell you the truth, something similar happened with my wife a few years ago. It looked as though she was about to be taken to court on stalking charges at one point. I couldn't help but feel this might be the same kind of behavior rearing its ugly head again. I'm so sorry for all the trouble my wife has caused you. Really? I had no idea about that! Sorry to bring this up, but there's more than a 30-year age gap between me and your wife. To tell you the truth, to have a woman old enough to be my mother obsessing over me and harassing me with creepy remarks makes me super uncomfortable. My attempts at rejecting her fall on deaf ears. There's just no talking to her. It's almost like I'm talking to a brick wall. If things carry on at this rate, I'm really worried she might start going after my fiancé, and the thought of her getting hurt, I'm actually pretty terrified. I truly am sorry for everything my wife's put you through, Carl. To think you're so young, too. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I feel awful that your wife divorced you because of me. Actually, I think after all that's happened, it's finally time. I'll be going through with the divorce. Huh? My patience has reached its limit. I've reached the point where I have to accept it. She's beyond help. There's only so much one man can take. You know how I said she nearly got taken to court on stalking charges before? The only reason she didn't is because I settled with them out of court, paying the compensation out of my own pocket. I can't afford to take another hit like that because of my wife's behavior, mentally or financially. I made excuses for her and looked the other way the first time because she was my wife, and I loved her. But to think she's back up to her old tricks, it's exactly the same as before. I can't go through this again. I think divorcing is for the best if that's what you want. But don't you think there's a chance she might get even worse afterwards? She might feel like she's been liberated from the only thing holding her back and escalate. Of course. Don't worry. I won't just be washing my hands of her and letting her do whatever she wants. I'll be taking decisive measures to make absolutely certain she never causes you any trouble ever again. Rest at ease, young man. This regrettable little episode will all be over soon. What do you mean by decisive measures? If it's okay with you, I'd really appreciate if you let me know. Ah, yes, certainly.
Carl! I handed it in first thing this morning. My resignation. I have lots of holiday to use up before my last day, so you won't see me around the office again after tomorrow. I've already started getting my things together, and I'll be moving into your place over the next few days.
Miss Martin, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but you and I are not engaged. My fiancé is someone else.
Don't be shy, sweetie. We're already a couple, you silly Billy.
No, we are not. Let me make this crystal clear. You and I are not together, and you're causing me so many problems. You've got no idea. If you don't cut this out soon, I'm gonna report you to the police for stalking me. Do you really want to have to pay compensation again? You'll go to court for real this time.
Huh? Wait, how? How do you know about the compensation?
I got a message from your husband last night. He told me all about how this isn't your first time doing something like this. And it got so bad before that you almost got taken to court. You obviously didn't learn your lesson. Do you want me to file charges too? I swear I'll do it!
He told you? That traitor! It's all lies! Hateful lies! He's just jealous, baby! I'm no cheater! How could I cheat if my heart has only ever belonged to you, Carl?
I don't want it! You can have it back! Anyway, if you don't stop harassing me, I'm reporting you to the police and filing stalking charges! You're creeping the hell out of me, and I'm more stressed than I've been in years! I'm barely eating, and it's messing with my sleep!
How could you say such things? Stop it! Are you saying the announcement you made the other day in front of the whole office was a lie?
No, I'm saying it was never directed at you in the first place! You and I aren't getting married, and we never will!
Please, Carl, marry me! I'm divorcing my husband for you!
Yeah, I know. He said he's committed to going ahead with it too. He also said he intends to sue you for damages.
Huh? Damages?
The settlement money from your last stalking episode. He paid your victim off so you wouldn't get taken to court, didn't he? He said he's taking you to court over it. To quote the man himself, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Looks like you won't be getting away with it this time." He intends to sue you for damages while you go through the divorce proceedings.
Wait! That's ancient history! How could he do that? It's hardly fair to sue me over something that happened such a long time ago!
That's for you and him to discuss. I couldn't possibly comment. You and I are strangers, and it's not my problem.
Strangers? We're set to be married, Carl! Your words are cruel and they hurt me!
We are not getting married! Not now, not next week, not next month, not next year, not ever! We're strangers!
We're not getting married? This can't be happening! Why are you telling me all of this now all of a sudden?
What? Are you serious? How many times have I told you by now? I'm marrying someone else! How is it even possible that you're only just noticing now? Has your husband divorcing you brought you back down to reality?
Isn't it obvious? If we don't get married... I just handed in my resignation for nothing! I was supposed to be your stay-at-home housewife! The boss already finalized the proceedings! Ah!
That's not my problem. You're the one who went off and handed in your resignation based on the most ridiculous misunderstanding in human history!
No, this can't be real! I have to cancel my resignation! They have to reverse it somehow! I need to go see HR right now!
Before you do, please deal with the customers on their way to see you.
Huh? Customers?
That's right. Think of it as your final job at this company. Your parents are on their way to the office.
What? My parents?
Apparently, your husband called them out yesterday to ensure you never go causing anyone trouble like this ever again. On top of divorcing you, he made arrangements for your parents to take you in.
What? No!
I heard from your husband about how your dad's a super strict ex-military man. Is that right? He said something about your mom being the kind of woman you absolutely do not want to get on the wrong side of, too. Here's the worst part. Apparently, she flipped out when your husband explained what you've been up to, including what you're doing to me now and the time you nearly got taken to court. Between the expletives, he's pretty sure he heard her say you're going back to the family home, where they can keep a watchful eye on you.
What? No! Please make it stop! Carl!
I'm sorry, but this is way beyond my pay grade. I wouldn't be able to make it stop even if I wanted to. Please discuss things as a family from here on out.
Please wait! You have no idea how bad this is! Me and my parents never got along! I can't go back there! I can't! I'm begging you, send them back, please!
I can hardly go sending them back. When they've gone to such trouble to come out from such a long way away, that would just be rude.
Carl, please, I'll do anything! I'm so sorry for yesterday. I'm so sorry for everything!
Not my problem. Hey, I think that's your parents pulling up in the car park now. Good luck with everything. Something tells me we'll never be seeing each other again. After that, I put in a sneaky word with the boss, preventing Betty's attempt at withdrawing her resignation. Then, ensuring she had no means of escaping her fate, I escorted her to her parents in the car park. Despite her mom and dad both being in their 70s, they seemed super fit and energetic. And I knew what Albert had meant by her dad being a strict ex-military man the moment I laid eyes on him. The pair of them grabbed their daughter by the scruff of the neck and drove off after literally dragging her into the car. 2 days later, her mom and dad came back to the office. They apologized profusely for the reign of terror their daughter had subjected me to, and gave me some money by way of saying sorry. Due to the circumstances, the judge declared Betty's husband would be entitled to all of her assets in the divorce, and he came out of the marriage with a tidy sum of money. Betty herself was taken far, far away, back to her parents' house, where she was forced to undergo a strict regimen of re-education. It's crazy when you think about it. A woman in her 50s having to be re-disciplined by her elderly parents? I'm so dumbfounded, I have no words.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.